Every great journey begins with a single moment of awakening. You may have thought your life was bound by circumstances, by limitations, or by the weight of the past. Yet the truth is, within you there has always been a cosmic green light, a sacred frequency, waiting for you to activate it and open the path to something new. Life does not betray you. It only reflects what you believe. And from the instant you remember who you truly are, you will begin to see an invisible bridge, a divine blueprint guiding you forward. This is not merely a story, it is the unfolding of a journey to awaken the power within you, beginning the cosmic green light. The universe does not hear your words, it only hears the frequency you are sending out. Every prayer, every desperate plea is often nothing more than an echo fading into the void. But once you step into the state of absolute certainty, a radiant signal bursts forth from deep within you. That signal is like a green light at the crossroads of the cosmos, declaring that you are ready. This is no longer the time to wait, no longer the time to beg. This is the moment when you cross over from wishing into commanding. For generations, this wisdom was hidden, passed only to those mature enough in consciousness to carry it. It was known that not everyone could wield this power, for it is not merely knowledge, it is transformation. But now the veil has been lifted. Your encounter with these words is not an accident. It is a sign that your soul has already sent out the signal of readiness. The universe never sends the wrong message. It only responds precisely to the vibration you carry. And when your heart declares that the time has come, a door opens instantly. Look back upon the years you have traveled. How many times did you pray, yet the outcome never came? How many times did you wait, only to face delay? Perhaps you thought the universe was indifferent or too distant, but the truth is, your signal was never clear. One moment you prayed in faith, the next you filled your mind with fear and doubt. One day you affirmed you would succeed. The next you confessed that you were unworthy. The universe is like a faithful transmitter. It can only receive and respond to signals that are pure and consistent. It does not choose. It does not judge. It simply reflects what you send. That is why every conflicting desire leads only to postponement. The cosmic green light is not a gift from outside. It is a sign from within. It is like the final drop of water that causes the dam to burst, like a spark that ignites the woodpile long prepared for the fire. That green light does not appear to grant favors, but to confirm that you have stepped into a higher level. You are no longer a seeker. You are a commander. The universe does not hesitate. It waits only for the moment. Your signal becomes clear, and when that moment arrives, all the energy around you instantly rearranges itself in obedience to your command. You may ask, how do I know when the cosmic green light has been lit? You know it when there is no more confusion in your heart, no more wavering. You no longer ask if it will happen. You know it is already taking form. You stop measuring time, stop wondering about the method, and rest in the quiet assurance that what you seek is already moving toward you. Just as the farmer who sows his seed does not dig it up each day to check, but knows that within the soil, life is at work. Imagine yourself standing at a vast crossroads, surrounded by countless paths, and above you the cosmic signal shines. When you doubt, the red light appears, and every door closes. When you begin to align, the yellow light flickers, reminding you that you are close, but not yet clear. Only when you are absolutely certain does the green light blaze forth. And in that moment, and the road ahead not only opens, but sweeps you forward with unstoppable force. In reality, the cosmic green light may appear in many forms. It may be an opportunity arriving at the perfect moment, the chance meeting charged with deeper meaning, or a powerful intuition urging you to act without delay. These signs are not coincidences, they are confirmations that the universe is responding to your signal If you pay attention, you will realize you have never been abandoned. From this point on, your journey is no longer that of a beggar, but of a commander. You no longer need desperate prayers. What you need is a pure frequency of faith. When you send forth your command with unwavering vibration, the universe has no choice but to comply. For the universe is not a foreign power, it is an extension of your very being. Practice this now. Sit quietly in stillness. Place your hand upon your chest and take a deep breath. As the breath touches every cell, silently affirm within yourself that you are ready, not a wish. It's not a waiting, but a command. Feel the brilliance igniting in your heart, spreading like a green light throughout your entire being. This is no illusion. It is the signal the universe instantly recognizes. The cosmic green light is your true beginning. From this moment, you no longer need to ask when, for the answer is already here. In the present, the light has turned green, the path has opened, and the universe awaits your step forward with the certainty of one who knows they were born to command their life. The power of summoning. Have you ever wondered why, at certain extraordinary moments, you suddenly stumble upon a book, a passage of words, or a person who appears at just the right time to guide you? That is not coincidence. It is the power of summoning from your soul. When your inner being sends out a specific frequency, the universe immediately arranges to deliver exactly what you need, precisely at the moment you are ready. Elizabeth, a young woman, once stepped into her grandmother's attic and discovered an old, dusty, leather-bound book. Countless other volumes lay silent around her, yet only this one radiated a strange energy, as if calling her name. The moment her fingers touched the cover, a warmth spread throughout her body, and she knew with absolute certainty that this encounter had been destined. In the same way, you are now holding these very words. You did not find them, they found you, because your soul has already sent out the signal of readiness. There is an unchanging principle in the universe. The law of resonance, the frequency you carry, determines what you summon. Like an echo in a valley, whatever word you shout will return to you. If you send out doubt, you will encounter more reasons to doubt. If you send out certainty, you will be met with countless signs to strengthen your faith. This is the hidden truth so few ever recognize. You are never the seeker. You are always the summoner. There was once a traveler named Thomas who became lost in a barren desert, drained of water and strength. As the light before his eyes began to fade, an ancient well appeared. The remarkable thing was that the well had stood there for centuries, unseen by the countless wanderers who had passed it by, for they had never sent out the signal of readiness. Only those who reached the frequency of burning desire could perceive it. So it is with life. Opportunities and truths have always been present, but you only recognize them when your inner state has ripened enough to receive them. Pause for a moment and remember a time in your life when you longed for change, and suddenly a book fell into your hands, a video appeared on your screen, or a stranger spoke exactly the words you needed to hear. That is undeniable proof that you summoned that experience by the frequency you carried. The universe is never silent. It is only waiting for you to send the right signal. And let me ask you now, are you truly listening to this story with the full presence of your heart? If you are here, absorbing each word, then this itself is evidence of your summoning power. You did not arrive at this place by accident. You summoned these words into your life. I thank you for your presence, for it is your readiness that gives this story its meaning. The power of summoning does not come from effort or force, but from alignment, like two instruments tuned to the same pitch. When one begins to sound, the other resonates in harmony, though no hand touches it. The universe works in just this way. when you hold within you a clear image, a deep emotion, and an unshakable faith, then all things in resonance will find their way to you. You do not need to chase them, for they are already vibrating with you. There is another truth that must be remembered. You cannot summon what you do not feel worthy of. If you are veiled in inferiority, then even as opportunities pass by, you will not recognize them. But when you look at yourself with the eyes of value, when you affirm that you are worthy, you will see doors opening right before you. The universe does not discriminate. It simply responds with precision to the state you radiate. Begin now with a simple practice. Find a quiet place. Sit with your back straight, palms open on your knees as if to receive. Breathe gently and acknowledge this truth. You have summoned this very moment. You have invited this wisdom into your life. Let each breath deepen that awareness. And as you close your eyes, whisper silently within, I summon light. I summon transformation. I summon the best that life has for me. Asterisk. Feel that energy coursing through your body, like a sweet current, awakening every cell. The power of summoning is the first step in mastering your life. Once you understand that nothing arrives by chance, you begin to live with a new awareness. Every encounter, every event, every opportunity is a response to the signal you have broadcast. If you want to change the result, you need only change your frequency. When you live with the conviction that you are worthy and ready, the universe must respond by sending you what aligns perfectly. Remember this, you did not find this book found you. You did not stumble upon these words came searching for you. So be grateful for your presence here and now, for your very presence is the clearest evidence that the power of summoning is at work. And from the moment you awaken to this truth, you will never again be the one who begs. You are the one who commands, the one who summons, the one who masters the journey of your own life. The cosmic antenna. In a small village nestled deep within a remote valley, there lived a woman named Margaret, who had spent her life devoted to an old radio. For decades, she carefully adjusted its knobs, fine-tuned its frequencies, and listened as voices and sounds from distant places flowed into her world. One stormy night, as thunder split the sky and the airwaves were filled with static, she discovered something extraordinary. When her mind became still, when she released every thought and allowed her heart to rest in silence, the voices came through clearly, even though her hands never touched the machine. In that moment, she realized that it was not merely the metal antenna that was catching signals. Within her, too, there existed an invisible antenna, a channel directly connected to the intelligence of the universe. In the same way, every human being carries within them a system too subtle for the eyes to see, but always present. It is the cosmic antenna, the place where you both transmit and receive. The thoughts and emotions you hold are the signals you send out, and the opportunities, the intuitions, the seemingly strange events that happen in your life are the signals that return. When your antenna is clear, unobstructed by worry or doubt, you receive guidance with sharp precision, leading you to exactly what you need. But when you cloud it with fear, uncertainty, or limiting beliefs, everything turns to noise, and you hear only confusion instead of direction. There stood a lighthouse on a storm-ridden coast, and its keeper, William, once endured the fiercest tempest of his life. Out at sea, ships tossed and vanished beneath raging waves. In his moment of panic, William realized that the light he tended was but a reflection of his own inner state. When he trembled, the beam faltered. When he steadied himself, the light shone brilliantly, guiding vessels safely to shore. The true strength lay not merely in the lamp, but in the clarity and steadfastness of the keeper himself. William's story is a reminder that the cosmic antenna within you works in the same way. It can only transmit power when you remain clear and calm. This cosmic antenna is not just a metaphor, but a living principle. In those sudden flashes of intuition, when you somehow know you must call someone, take a certain path, or make an immediate decision, that is the antenna within you, picking up a signal. It is linked to the vast field of energy surrounding us, where all possibilities already exist. But for it to function, you must keep yourself pure, unclouded by the dust of fear. The outer world is a mirror. If you transmit chaos, life will reflect that chaos. If you radiate peace, life will deliver the conditions that nurture peace. This antenna is always active, whether you are aware of it or not. The question is never whether it works, but what signals you are sending and receiving. Imagine now a golden antenna rising from the crown of your head, stretching into the highest reaches of the sky. It shines ceaselessly, transmitting every desire, every thought, every vibration you hold in your heart. When you carry faith, the antenna sends out a strong, clear wave, and the universe responds at once. When you clutch fear, the wave distorts, and the response returns faint and chaotic. The antenna itself never errs. The only question is whether you are tuning it to the right frequency. At times, you may notice a sequence of strange events unfolding as though orchestrated by unseen hands. A stranger you meet by chance happens to offer the very opportunity you were seeking. A book you open at random displays the exact answer you needed. This is no accident. It is your antenna receiving the signal and the universe responding through specific circumstances. If you pay close attention, you will see that everything in life is an exchange between the signals you send and those you receive. Activating the cosmic antenna requires no elaborate ritual. It takes only a quiet moment, a deep breath, and the awareness that you are connected to an infinite field of energy. Close your eyes and picture a golden antenna stretching skyward from your crown, radiating light, like the dawn spreading to all directions. Every positive thought you hold is carried outward through its waves, and at the same time, a stream of light descends from the universe, flooding every cell. In that moment, you are no longer a small and separate being. You are the living channel of infinite intelligence. As you nurture this connection, you will begin to notice life shifting. Your intuition sharpens, your decisions grow firmer, and opportunities arrive with greater speed. You no longer feel lost, for you know there is always guidance. All you must do is keep the antenna clear and upright. When you do, the universe ceases to be something vague and distant. It becomes a system of faithful response, precise and powerful, walking with you in every breath. The cosmic antenna is the symbol of the inner wisdom you have never lost. It reminds you that you do not need to search for guidance in distant places. The guidance is already within, waiting only for your silence to hear it. When you truly tune to the right frequency, everything you need will come to you on time, never late. This is the power you carry within you, the power that has always been waiting to be awakened. The veils of perception. In a sunlit room, an old teacher led his student to stand before a great painting, veiled by layers of thin cloth. He said nothing, but gently pulled away the first veil. A faint image emerged, still blurred. He continued lifting each layer until, at the final one, the painting burst forth in dazzling brilliance, its colors more vivid than anything the student had ever seen. The young man stood astonished, realizing that all along the beauty had been there, only hidden behind the veils. So it is with life. The splendor of reality has always been present, concealed only by the veils of perception. 7 veils cover human vision, convincing us of limits that exist only in the mind. The veil of separation makes you believe you stand apart from the universe, a small and isolated being, yet the truth is you and the universe are one, and every thought you hold reverberates through all space. The veil of limitation makes you believe that certain things are impossible, that barriers stand between you and your dream, but all limits are creations of imagination. For when awareness awakens, you see that nothing is beyond reach. The veil of unworthiness whispers that you are not good enough, not strong enough, not deserving of love, wealth, or success. This is the thickest veil, causing many to bow before opportunities that were always meant for them. The veil of victimhood turns you into someone ruled by circumstances, making you believe you are only the result of what others do. The truth is you are always the cause, always the broadcasting center of the signal that shapes your life. The veil of lack casts shadows on your eyes. So you see only scarcity, while the universe is an infinite treasure house forever open to you. The veil of time convinces you that desires lie in some distant future, that you must wait and endure, yet in essence, everything you affirm with faith already exists here, in the present. And lastly, the veil of impossibility makes you see life as a rigid chain of inevitabilities, cutting off the miracles present in every moment. An old story tells of a girl named Grace who lived in a valley blanketed year-round with fog. Every morning she opened her door to the same dense gray until she came to believe that nothing else existed beyond it. Then one day a strong wind swept through, and the fog dissolved. Before her eyes lay a breathtaking landscape, forests of deep green, a lake of shining blue, golden fields stretching to the purple mountains. She realized the beauty had never been absent. Her eyes had simply been unable to see through the mist. Human perception is the same. When the veils are lifted, you discover that beauty, abundance, and miracle were always there, waiting for your recognition. The important thing is not to tear away the veils with force or resistance, but to gently pass through them with awareness. Each time you dare to look deeper into a limitation, it begins to fade. Each time you affirm your oneness with the universe, the veil of separation dissolves. When you open your heart to the truth that you are worthy of good, the veil of unworthiness falls away. When you cease to play the victim and take responsibility for your vibration, the veil of victimhood disappears. When you believe that supply is infinite, scarcity gives way to abundance. When you live in the present, trusting that all things already exist, the veil of time cracks apart. And when you accept miracles as a natural part of life, the veil of impossibility dissolves on its own. Try a simple practice. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine before you 7 thin veils, each inscribed with the name of a limit that has bound you. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, step through the first veil. Feel the mist dissolve. Continue walking through veil after veil. With each step, you feel lighter. Seer, when you have passed all 7, you find yourself standing in a vast open space, where every thought is like a ripple on water, spreading outward and returning at once. Place one hand upon your forehead, the other upon your heart, and affirm with certainty, I now see with the eyes of truth. The veils of perception do not exist outside. They live only in your mind. But once you recognize them, they dissolve, and when no veils remain, you see the universe as it truly is, abundant, fluid, infinite, and forever ready to respond with precision to what you radiate from your heart. In that moment, you step out of the fog of illusion and return to true reality, where nothing separates you from the goodness that has always been your birthright. The language of energy. Every living being in the universe is engaged in a silent dialogue, speaking a language that has no words, the language of energy. No spoken sound, no written script is required. A single vibration radiating from within is enough for the entire universe to listen. A tiny seed buried deep in the soil knows how to send its signal, summoning sunlight and moisture. A flock of migrating birds senses the guiding frequency that carries them safely south without ever losing their way. So it is with human beings. We, too, are constantly sending messages, not through our lips, but through the energy fields that surround us. Here lies a strange truth. You may hide your thoughts behind a smile. You may cover fear with a facade of strength. But the energy you radiate never lies. Others may not understand why, yet they will feel either safe or uneasy in your presence. A child who has not learned words still trembles in a heavy, hostile house and instantly relaxes in loving arms. Energy is always the most truthful voice, and it is energy that shapes the very circumstances of your life. Imagine yourself as a grand instrument, every thought a key, every emotion a note. When you strike the key of faith, the resonance is clear and alluring, and bright conditions are drawn to you. When you accidentally strike the key of doubt, the sound turns harsh, and unsettling experiences rush toward you. The universe does not respond to your words. It responds by arranging people, events, and opportunities that carry the same resonance as your energy. If your words say one thing, but your energy broadcasts another, then the universe does not hear your words. It hears your true frequency. There was once a man who prayed every night, asking for abundance and prosperity. Yet deep inside, he thought only of his poverty, feared loss, and doubted that his desires could ever take form, and so his life never changed. He did not know that true prayer is not made with the lips, but with the energy of the heart. Only when he shifted his vibration, when he began to feel abundance even in the present moment, did his life transform. Finances opened, relationships grew richer. Energy was the real prayer, and it spoke louder than any words he had ever uttered. What you send out will always find its way back to you. When you radiate love, you will encounter countless chances to love and be loved. When you radiate gratitude, life multiplies the reasons for thanks. When you radiate fear, you will see ever more reasons to worry. The universe is a mirror, magnifying the signal you transmit. The language of energy never errs, nor is it ever silent. It is speaking in every moment of your life. Pay attention to your body, and you will notice it is the perfect transmitter and receiver. When you are angry, your body heats, your heart races, and your energy surges in a way that makes others tense as well. When you are joyful, your eyes sparkle, your voice softens, and the atmosphere around you warms. This is proof that you cannot conceal your energy field. People and circumstances alike respond to it, as though the entire universe were listening to the music you are playing. A wise teacher once said, "Observe your feelings more than your words, for feelings are the true frequency. You may declare faith in success, but if within you there is still unease and defeat, you are broadcasting the opposite, and the language of energy is always stronger than the language of reason. The universe listens to your heart, not your mouth." Try a simple practice now. Close your eyes and feel the energy you carry at this moment. Is it heavy or light, contracted or expansive? Imagine that you are speaking to the universe with that energy. If it is not the signal you wish to send, change it instantly. Recall an image of safety, a memory of joy, the sincere feeling of gratitude. As that feeling spreads, your entire energy field shifts, and in that very moment, you are already speaking a new language to the universe. The language of energy is the foundation upon which you build your life. Every method, every technique, every prayer converges on one point: the shifting of your vibration. When you change your energy, that you change the story. The universe is writing with you. So become attentive to every vibration you emit, for that is the language the universe always hears. And when you learn to speak this language with clarity, trust, and love, the universe will respond unfailingly with miracles beyond anything your mind could imagine. The awakened observer, deep within every human being, there exists a silent presence, an unextinguished light that is the awakened observer. You may be swept into storms of emotion, you may be drowned beneath waves of thought, yet somewhere within there is a part of you quietly watching, untouched by the turmoil. This observer does not judge, does not rush. It simply witnesses, clear, steady, and aware. When you return to this presence, you step out of the role of life's victim and step into the role of its master. Once, a Zen master handed his student a bowl filled with water. He shook it hard, and the water spilled and churned. Then he set it down, and slowly the ripples stilled until the water grew clear. He said, "The human mind is like this. When shaken by anger, or fear, or desire, it becomes murky. But if you return to the stance of the observer, standing still and watching the waves dissolve, and in the silence you will see the truth. This is the key to breaking free of unconscious reaction and beginning to live by conscious choice. The awakened observer does not erase emotion. It shows you that emotion is not who you are. When anger rises, you may see it as a cloud drifting across the sky rather than becoming the storm itself. When fear appears, you may see it as a trembling child rather than letting it take the throne. In the moment you become the observer, you unchain yourself from emotion and open the doorway to freedom of choice. That is when you realize you are not the wave. You are the ocean. History is filled with masters who lived from this awakened awareness. They walked through life untouched by outer turbulence, not because they were free from trials, but because they knew all things were only scenes upon the stage of life. The actors may laugh or weep, but the awakened spectator simply observes, unmoved by the plot. And you, even now, can become the witness of your own mind instead of being lost in its performance. Picture a silent space within you, where you sit upon a high seat, gazing down at the stream of thoughts flowing past. Each thought is a leaf drifting along the river, some lovely, some unpleasant, but all drifting away. You need not pluck them, nor push them. We only watch. From this vantage, you begin to see that your true essence is not the restless current, but the stillness that perceives it. This is the power of the voice within, not a fleeting whisper, but the infinite space you can always return to. It is the true inner voice, the unchanging presence. A merchant once asked his teacher, "How can I remain calm amidst the upheavals of the market?" The teacher smiled and said, "Do not try to stop the waves. Learn to stand on the shore and watch." The merchant began practicing observation each time worry arose. Gradually, instead of panic, clarity came, and with it wiser decisions. Awareness transformed not only his career, but his entire life. This is proof that when you master observation, everything becomes clearer and easier. The awakened observer is also the source of profound healing. When you behold your pain without judgment, without avoidance, it begins to dissolve. Just as light disperses darkness, the presence of observation makes fear and wounds lose their grip. You need not fight to overcome. Simply see with full awareness, and in that seeing, pain melts away. Try this practice now. Close your eyes and watch the flow of thoughts crossing your mind. Do not block them. Do not correct them. Just see, ask yourself, who is watching these thoughts? Asterisk. As the question echoes, you will notice a vast stillness beyond thought itself, a deeper presence. That is the awakened observer within you. From that space, you begin to perceive your true strength. The awakened observer is not merely a part of you, it is who you are. What you once believed to be yourself was only the surface waves. Your true essence is the silent, unmoving space where all waves are seen, but none can disturb. When you live from this place, life no longer tosses you helplessly. It moves under the guidance of conscious awareness, and in that very moment, you cease seeking peace, for you have become peace itself. The divine frequency, there is a secret that the ancient sages often spoke of, though few have ever truly grasped. Every human being is broadcasting a frequency, and it is this frequency that determines the whole of life's experience. No complex machine is required. No intricate scientific explanation. Simply listen to your own heart. And you will recognize that the energy you radiate is the melody shaping the universe around you. When you fall into fear, your frequency drops, and you draw toward yourself situations that reinforce that fear. When you live in gratitude and faith, your frequency rises, and the universe responds with abundance and peace. The divine frequency is not something you must search for in distant places. It is your very essence, though often obscured by the dust of worry, anger, and doubt. It is like a precious instrument left unattended. The strings are still there, the music still latent in every fiber, awaiting only the touch of tuning to release its pure song. Humanity is the same. When you strip away the static of fear and scarcity, the divine frequency begins to resonate once more, aligning you with the harmony of the cosmos. Legend tells of ancient monks who entered a special state of prayer where no words were spoken. Yet the vibration they created was so powerful, it brought healing to the entire community. It was not language that worked the miracle, but the frequency flowing from hearts and minds united. When their vibration reached the threshold of purity, the energy spread like invisible waves, touching every soul and every particle of matter in its reach. This is proof that there is a language beyond all languages, the language of the divine frequency. Remember always that you are living in a universe of vibration. Every particle trembles, every star sends forth its waves, and you are no exception. When you shift the way you think and feel, you alter the frequency you emit. To change your circumstances, you need not bend the outside world, only raise your inner vibration, like a radio dial. Once you tune to the right frequency, the music you desire comes through. If all you hear is noise, it is not because the universe has no song, it is because you have not yet tuned in. A businessman once endured endless failure, convinced that fate itself was against him. But when he began to practice daily gratitude, his frequency shifted. He gave thanks for the smallest blessings, the morning sunlight, the cool water in his glass, and in a mysterious way, opportunities began to appear. Relationships grew more harmonious, and success unfolded. His breakthrough did not come because he worked twice as hard, but because he changed the signal he was sending. The universe was only ever responding to his vibration. Try this simple exercise. Sit quietly, place your hand upon your heart, and imagine a wave of light radiating from that place. Envision this wave vibrating with a pure and gentle frequency, filled with love and gratitude. With each breath, and see it expand outward beyond your body. beyond the room, across the city, reaching into the skies. Feel yourself in tune with the music of the cosmos, a melody that has always been present since the beginning of time. This is the divine frequency, and in this moment you are reconnecting with it. What is remarkable is that this frequency does not bless only you. It affects all who enter your field of energy. A genuine smile can raise the frequency of an entire room. A grateful heart can soften conflict. A single person living in faith and love can become a broadcasting center, sending light to an entire community. Thus, when you choose to dwell in the divine frequency, for you not only transform your life, you help transform the world. Never forget, no frequency is stronger than the union of love and faith. When you believe that good is already yours, when you love without condition, that vibration blazes forth, and the universe cannot ignore it. It arranges all things to come to you in perfect timing and form. And when you sustain this resonance, your life becomes living testimony that miracles are not exceptions, but the natural rhythm of a mind aligned with the divine frequency. From this day, observe and fine-tune the signal you are sending. If life seems filled with discord, do not blame circumstance, turn inward and ask, what am I broadcasting? Asterisk. For the moment you change your frequency, you change your life, and in that harmony, you will awaken to a great truth, that you are not merely living in the universe, but that you are the musician playing with it, and the song, when played with love, will echo forever as the divine frequency, the green light principle. There is a secret principle at work in the universe, rarely recognized, yet always present, the green light principle. It is like an invisible signal emanating from within you, and when it shines, every door before you opens effortlessly. But if within you there remains doubt and fear or self-denial, then no matter how many times you knock, the path stays closed. The green light principle teaches us that the universe responds only to the signal of inner approval, never to the strained efforts made outwardly. Imagine driving down a long road. If every traffic light shines green, you move forward easily without hesitation, without worry. But when the light turns red, you must stop. The universe works in the same way. Every opportunity, every relationship, every dream waits upon the green signal within you. That green light is the unwavering belief that what you desire already exists, that you are worthy of it, and that it belongs to you right now. When the green light is on, the current carries you to your destination naturally, without struggle, without resistance. There was once a woman who longed for a loving home, yet within she repeated silent denials. I am not lucky. I am not good enough. Love is not for me. Asterisk. She did not realize that these very thoughts were red lights blocking her path. But when she began to change, when she affirmed her worthiness, when she nurtured the vision of a joyful life, the green light turned on. Not long after she met the partner she had envisioned, and her happiness became reality. The universe did not grant love when she begged for it, but when she switched on the green light through faith and clear inner imagery. This principle operates equally in career and finance. A man may desire success, but if deep within he fears failure and doubts his ability, he stands before a red light. Yet when he begins to cultivate confidence, to imagine himself already successful, to live in the feeling of wholeness, the green light blazes forth. Suddenly, doors that seemed sealed begin to open. Opportunities, people, and circumstances appear at the right time, in the right place, because the universe was waiting only for his inner consent to collaborate. The green light principle is not some distant miracle, but an objective law at work When you think of something with absolute faith, you switch on the green light, and the current propels you forward. When you doubt, deny, or fear, you switch on the red, and the current halts. The difference between a life of miracles and a life of stagnation lies solely in which light is shining, and the wonder of it is that you always hold the switch in every moment to choose green or red. At times you may wonder, why have I prayed so long with no result? Asterisk. Ask yourself honestly deep within, which light is on? You may speak positive affirmations with your lips, but if your heart still trembles with fear, the red light remains. The universe does not hear your words. It hears the signal you truly emit. Only when you transform that energy into trust does the green light truly illuminate. Remember, the green light is not reserved for grand desires alone. It shines in the smallest details of daily life. When you believe today is a good day, you switch on the green. When you trust that an upcoming meeting will bring opportunity, you switch on the green. When you believe your health is restoring, you switch on the green. Each small signal gathers into a current strong enough to carry you exactly where you long to go. A simple way to practice the green light principle is to pause and observe yourself in moments of doubt. When worry or fear begins to rise, ask, which light is shining in me now? Asterisk. Then take a deep breath. Imagine your desire already fulfilled and feel the joy of its completion. Hold that state for a few minutes, and you will notice the shift from red to green. Maintain this practice often, and your entire life will change direction. The green light principle is a reminder that you are not bound by circumstance. You are limited only by the signals you send. When you choose to live in faith, you switch on the green for miracles to flow. When you choose to live in doubt, you switch on the red and block your own current. The choice is always in your hands, and the moment you understand and apply this principle, you no longer chase after miracles, for you have become the miracle. And every step you take is lit by the universe's green light. The paradox of allowing. There is a strange principle, yet one of profound power, known as the paradox of allowing. People are often taught that to achieve what they desire, they must strive endlessly, fight, and struggle, yet the more they push with tension, the more they force the current of life, the further the result drifts away. In contrast, when you learn to allow, when you surrender into trust, when you open yourself to receive what you long for, arrives with ease and speed. This is the paradox few understand, for it runs contrary to the habits of reason, yet it is fully aligned with the laws of the universe. Allowing does not mean resignation or passivity. It means action rooted in absolute trust. You still plant the seed and tend the soil, but instead of hovering in worry, digging constantly to see if the sprout has broken through, you allow nature to do its work. A wise farmer does not force the seed to grow by fretting. He trusts that spring and sunlight will take care of the rest. So it is with the human soul. Once you have sown the right vision and belief into the subconscious, your task is not to coerce, but to allow its unfolding in stillness. A businessman once admitted that he had tried to control every small detail of his enterprise contracts as staff, the market itself. He grew so tense that his health collapsed. But then he discovered the lesson of allowing. Instead of clutching at everything, he began to trust that the universe could arrange matters more perfectly than he ever could. He focused on radiating the energy of success and gratitude and let situations evolve naturally. To his amazement, great opportunities began to appear, not because of control, but because of release and allowing. The paradox of allowing lies here. When you stop grasping, you receive more. When you stop resisting, life flows with ease. Imagine holding your fist tight, trying to keep water within, yet it slips away. But when you open your palm and allow the water rests gently there, life is the same. The tighter you clutch in fear, the more you lose. The more you open in trust, the more you receive. Many people pray, yet they pray with hesitation, as though they do not believe their own words. That is not true. Allowing means praying as if it has already been fulfilled. Then, living in gratitude for its presence, it is the posture of one who knows there is nothing to prove, nothing to force, for wholeness has already been given. Allowing is opening the heart so that the flow of miracles may pour in. The same principle applies to health. Some worry endlessly over illness, trying to force themselves into wellness, and only feel more uneasy. But when they learn to allow their bodies to rest, to allow each cell to receive healing energy with trust, restoration begins. The body carries its own natural wisdom, waiting only for you to release resistance and allow it to do its work. In love, as too, the paradox is present. When you cling too tightly to a relationship, you create pressure that suffocates it. But when you allow love its freedom, when you let the other be themselves, that love grows stronger. Allowing here is not indifference, it is the deep trust that true love needs no control. It knows how to endure and how to bloom. The strength of this paradox lies in its power to free us from the burden of control. You do not need to know exactly when, where, or how your desire will appear. You only need to know that it will, and allow it to find its most natural expression. The universe possesses wisdom far beyond your reasoning, and when you allow, you partner with that infinite intelligence. If you wish to practice the paradox of allowing, begin by noticing tension within yourself. Each time worry arises, pause and breathe deeply. Say to yourself, I allow life to unfold in the best way for me. I allow miracles to enter. I allow wholeness to be revealed. Asterisk. Then release the need to dictate the outcome. As you though, you will feel relief. And in that relief, what you desire will flow to you. The paradox of allowing is not a temporary technique, but a way of living. To live in the spirit of allowing is to live in trust, and peace, in the knowing that all you need has already been provided. From that place, you become a harmonious current moving with the universe. That is when you stop chasing after miracles, because your life itself has become the miracle through the wondrous power of the paradox of allowing. The reflecting mirror, life never betrays you. It only reflects what you place into it. Every thought, every feeling, every belief is like a seed sown into the soil of the subconscious. And from that soil, reality is born. When you gaze upon the world around you, you are not merely seeing circumstances, you are beholding your own soul reflected outward. If fear fills your heart, you will see shadows covering everything. If love overflows within you, you will see the universe wide open, overflowing with opportunity. The world is the truest mirror, never deceiving, only responding faithfully to what you carry inside. There are those who spend their entire lives searching for reasons why life is unfair, why hardship keeps arriving. They do not realize that their doubt, their resentment, their negative images are what the mirror has been reflecting. By contrast, those who learn to keep the mind pure, to nurture faith and gratitude, and see life return to them prosperity, peace, and love. This is no hollow philosophy, it is an unchanging law. Reality's mirror always reflects the picture of the inner life. Remember A mirror cannot create an image of its own. It only shows what stands before it. The universe does not deliver happiness or suffering at random. It projects back precisely what you hold within. Change the image inside, and the mirror must change outside. You cannot stand before a mirror waiting for the reflection to smile before you do. You must smile first, and the mirror will answer with honesty. There was once a man who lived in endless poverty. He cursed fate and blamed circumstances. But the more he blamed, the heavier his burdens grew. One day, he understood that life was only reflecting his fear and sense of lack. From then on, he began planting images of prosperity in his mind. Each day he affirmed that he was worthy of wealth. That abundance was his natural flow. In a short time, new opportunities arose, and his finances began to change. The universe itself had not altered, only the mirror, reflecting a new inner picture. So it is in relationships. If you find yourself constantly betrayed, constantly wounded, look within. Perhaps you are nurturing the belief that you are unworthy of love, that love is fragile. When you transform that belief into the conviction that you are deserving, that true love is ever present, then life's mirror reflects relationships of purity and strength. The mirror of reality is the most faithful teacher. It shows you what you are truly radiating. If you wish to change what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. You must change yourself. And that change begins with the inner voice, the whisper of the soul you often ignore. This is the power of the voice within, not merely a voice you hear, but a space you return to, asterisk. It is not just sound echoing in the mind, but a sanctuary where you may return and reshape the very image you wish to see reflected in life's mirror. The wise do not waste effort trying to alter the mirror. They transform the face they show to it. The understanding do not condemn circumstances. They adjust thoughts and emotions. Each time you face adversity, ask yourself, what am I reflecting? Asterisk. Answer with honesty, and you will recognize your power to change. The mirror never lies, and your power lies in changing the picture within. A simple exercise will help you apply this principle. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine before you a shining mirror. In it, you do not see your present face, but the life you desire yourself healthy, peaceful, joyful, successful. Feel the emotions of already living that reality. When you open your eyes, hold that energy within. In doing so, you plant new images in the subconscious, and gradually the outer mirror reflects them. The miracle of the mirror is that it never opposes you. It has no will of its own. It is only faithful. If you see darkness, do not curse the mirror. Light your inner lamp. If you see lack, do not blame circumstances. Sow seeds of abundance in your mind. Change the content within, and the entire world around you must change. That is the universe's perfect fairness. Believe this. Each day you may place a new image before the mirror. You are not bound by old reflections, by mistakes of the past. Every moment is a chance to present a new face, a new thought, a new belief. And when you persist, you will discover that life is not foreign, not hostile. It is only the mirror reflecting the truth of your soul. And when that soul is filled with light, the mirror will shine, and your life will become a radiant painting of faith and love. The ancient promise and the 7 laws, since the dawn of time, when humanity first lifted its eyes to the star-filled heavens and listened to the whisper of the wind, an ancient promise was inscribed deep within the soul. That promise whispered that you would never be abandoned, that the universe forever moves in perfect order, and that in every circumstance you are entrusted with the power to return to the light This promise was never written on stone tablets, nor hidden in sacred texts. It lives in the beat of your heart, in your breath, in every cell that waits for you to remember and to remind humanity of this truth. 7 immutable laws were given, like a compass to guide the way, so that whoever listens will never be lost. The first law is the law of sowing and reaping. Whatever you plant in the subconscious through thought, word, and emotion takes root and grows into reality. No seed is ever lost, whether good or bad, for all are faithfully reflected. Thus, every thought is a seed, and every day you are planting in the unseen soil of your soul. The second law is the law of correspondence. As within, so without, the world you see is not objective truth, but a mirror faithfully reflecting your inner life. If you desire change in circumstances, do not begin with the outer world. Begin with the beliefs and images you carry within. The third law is the law of vibration. All things in the universe are energy. Nothing is still. You emit a frequency, and that frequency calls forth its likeness. Send out fear, and fearful experiences will answer. Radiate faith and love, and miracles will come to meet you. The fourth law is the law of attraction. You do not draw to yourself what you casually wish for. You attract only what resonates with your soul. That which you truly believe and embody will find its way to you. Thus, instead of begging for something foreign, become the person aligned with your desire, and it will appear as the natural consequence. The fifth law is the law of allowing. This is the paradox already spoken of. You receive only when you release. You permit miracles only when you cease to resist. Allowing does not mean surrendering in defeat. It means trusting that the wisdom of the universe knows how to deliver the best outcome. The sixth law is the law of spiritual cause and effect. Every cause you set in motion through thought and belief produces its corresponding effect. Nothing is accidental. Nothing is blind chance. Only the precise response of the energy you emit. And at last, the seventh law, the law of oneness. All life, all people, all experiences are joined in one infinite field. Nothing is separate. No one is lost. When you bless another, you plant for yourself. When you harm another, you wound yourself. To understand this is to live with compassion, for all is one. These 7 laws never change. They are untouched by time or culture. They have operated since the beginning and will operate forever. Those who understand and live by them walk with ease, while those who ignore them find life full of struggle and resistance. The ancient promise declares that anyone may use these laws to return to abundance, to health, to love, and to peace. Look at your life today. Every event, every relationship, every result reveals which law you are living under. If you see lack, perhaps you have sown seeds of fear. If you feel stuck, perhaps you have not allowed the natural flow. If you feel alone, perhaps you have forgotten oneness. Yet the moment you recognize it, you may choose again, for the laws do not bind. They only reflect. There was once a woman who lived long in resentment and pain, convinced that the world was unjust. But when she was reminded of the 7 laws, she began to live differently. Instead of sowing doubt, she planted faith. Instead of blaming, she gave thanks. Instead of resisting, she allowed. Gradually her circumstances transformed. Health returned. Finances opened. Relationships blossomed. No miracle came from without, only her return to the ancient promise and the laws that had always been there. That promise still resounds within you today. It does not urge you to seek what you lack, but to remember that the key is already yours. When you live in harmony with the 7 laws, fiar fades, for the universe becomes your ally, and every door swings open. This is the proof that the ancient promise has never been lost. It has only awaited your trust to rise again and guide you into fullness of life. The alchemy of thought. There is a kind of alchemy that requires no furnace, no precious metals, yet it has the power to transform the entire course of a human life. It is the alchemy of thought. In ancient times, alchemists dreamed of turning lead into gold, but few understood that the true secret lay within. Every thought you hold, every image you cherish, is raw material. When tempered in the fire of belief, it is transmuted into radiant reality. Thought is the base metal, faith is the furnace, and reality is the pure gold born of that process. Have you ever wondered why some rise from nothing, while others, though surrounded by every advantage, remain stuck? The secret is not in luck or in outward favor, but in the ability to transform thought into living energy. One who knows the alchemy of thought will see opportunity in hardship, light in darkness, and summon abundance through the power of the beliefs they cultivate. Look back on your life. Every achievement, great or small, began with a thought, a sudden spark that you could, an image that you were worthy, a quiet conviction that you would succeed. And likewise, every failure, every dead end, every loss was born of the negative thoughts you allowed to take root. Thought is like a seed sown in the earth. If the seed is healthy, it grows into sweet fruit. If the seed is poisoned, it grows into thorns. The secret lies in refinement. When you begin guarding your mind, refusing to let negative thoughts dominate, you are doing the work of an alchemist. You select keeping the gold and discarding the dross. You understand that not every thought is worthy of nurture, because every thought will soon become life. The alchemy of thought is not some rare miracle. It is the discipline of each day, the steady training of the mind to reflect only light. Do you realize that at this very moment you sit in the role of a great alchemist, though perhaps you have never seen yourself that way? Let me ask you, if today you were handed a furnace that could turn any thought into reality, which thought would you choose to keep? Would it be the fear that gnaws at you daily, or the image of a radiant future where you live in peace and prosperity? The answer is yours, for you are the one holding the fire. My friend, I thank you for being here, for listening, for walking this journey with attention and presence. Your very presence is proof that your soul is ready, that it has ripened to remember its power. And I want you to know this. From the moment you choose a creative thought over a destructive one, you begin the process of alchemy. Everything else unfolds as the inevitable consequence. Imagine a stream of pure water flowing across a barren field. The water transforms the soil, awaken, and brings forth fruit. Thought is like that water. It can turn a wasteland into a garden, darkness into dawn. But if that stream is poisoned, the field withers. Your task is to keep the waters of thought pure, for they alone shape the landscape of your life. Those who practice the alchemy of thought do not wait on luck. They know that any thought held long enough, with enough belief, will become reality. They do not seek gold outside, they forge gold within. Each day, they choose love over resentment, gratitude over complaint, and hope over despair. And the result is that their lives stand as living proof that true alchemy exists. You too can begin now. Choose a noble thought. Nurture it with attention. Let it become the constant image in your mind. Then allow it to saturate every feeling, every action, every word. This is the formula of transmutation. And then, like the alchemist who sees base metal turn to gold, you will watch your life change day by day. The alchemy of thought is the power the ancient promise placed within you. It requires no hidden formula, no secret chamber, only a heart that believes and a mind that chooses. When you master this art, you no longer search for miracles outside yourself, for you are the miracle. You are the one who forges gold, and the gold you create is the radiant reality born of the thoughts you choose today. The unshakable command. In the unseen realm, there is an immutable principle. The subconscious does not argue, does not judge, does not negotiate. It simply obeys the command you give it. Once a command is engraved deeply, it becomes the law of operation, and nothing can reverse it. This unshakable command is the golden thread that ties together every principle, the very foundation upon which the alchemy of thought truly works. For whatever you affirm with unwavering faith becomes the governing law of your life. Many complain that what they desire never arrives. They speak affirmations, yet in their hearts they deny them. They pray for abundance while still believing they are poor. They long for love, yet continue to harbor the thought that they are unworthy of it. The subconscious does not respond to surface words. It registers only the true command born of faith and feeling, and that command, once formed, is unshakable. Imagine yourself as the supreme commander and the subconscious as your loyal army. This army asks no questions, requires no explanation. It simply carries out the order. If you command it to sow seeds of fear, it will create circumstances that mirror fear. If you command it to sow seeds of trust, it will arrange everything to make that trust reality. The issue is never whether the subconscious obeys, but rather what kind of command you are issuing. The unshakable command is not born of hesitation. It is forged when a thought is joined with intense emotion and repeated often enough to etch itself deep. Emotion is the ink, repetition the pen stroke. When the two combine, the command becomes an inscription that cannot be erased. That is why childhood memories filled with emotion remain etched for a lifetime. They have become unconscious commands, shaping the way we see the world. But the fortunate truth is this: you can inscribe new commands, replacing those that no longer serve you. There was once a man who lived in constant failure, for within his subconscious was a command that he would never be good enough. When he was taught to replace that old order with new affirmations that he was worthy, that he was capable, that success was his. The subconscious began to act upon the new decree. Gradually, doors long closed swung open. His change was not by luck, but by the power of a new unshakable command. It must be emphasized that the subconscious does not distinguish between positive and negative orders. It is neutral. Like fertile soil, whatever is planted will grow. If you sow doubt, it will rise as barriers. If you sow faith, it will rise as abundance. Thus, your responsibility is to choose the command you want to see manifested. Instead of letting unconscious orders of fear and worry dictate your life, there is a special power when you combine affirmations with mental imagery. Words are the command, images are the blueprint. When the two unite, the subconscious receives a clear directive to execute. Imagine you wish to build a house. You do not simply order it built. You provide detailed plans. So it is with the subconscious. It needs both the command and the design, carried as images in the mind. When you hold both with steadfast faith, the result becomes unstoppable. Many give up after a few days, thinking the command ineffective. What they do not realize is that the subconscious requires consistency. A command becomes unshakable only when it remains steady, not undermined by conflicting orders. If one day you affirm wealth, and the next you dwell on poverty. The subconscious receives two opposing commands, and the outcome is chaos. True power arises only when you remain steadfast. When a single order is repeated until it becomes a natural law, the wonder is that once an unshakable command is etched, you no longer need to force it. Like a river flowing in its bed, the subconscious automatically brings forth corresponding circumstances. You need not worry about the how, you need only keep the command clear and consistent. The universe handles the rest, for that is how law operates. The unshakable command is the supreme weapon placed in your hands. It is not distant, but a power you have used since birth, though often against yourself. Yet from this moment, as you learn to set the right command, you can redirect the entire course of your life. And when that command is joined with faith and feeling, you will discover that no force can shake what you have affirmed. For once the subconscious has received the order, the universe has but one task: to respond according to that command. The art of releasing resistance. Every command you send to the subconscious carries within it the power of creation. Yet there is one factor that often blocks this energy, and that is resistance. Resistance does not come from the universe, it comes from the mind itself. It appears when you affirm something positive but immediately allow doubt to intrude. It is like planting a seed in the ground, then digging it up again to check if it has sprouted. This impatience and worry are signs of resistance, and they interrupt the creative process. The art of releasing resistance is the key that allows the unshakable command to operate in its fullness. Resistance takes many subtle forms. At times, it is the quiet whisper that you are not worthy. At times, it is comparing yourself to others and feeling inadequate. At other times, it is the restless urge to see results instantly. All of these are signals that contradict the command sent to the subconscious. If, on one hand, you issue the order for abundance, but on the other you hold anxiety in your heart, the subconscious receives only confusion. This is why many continue to affirm without ever seeing results. Releasing resistance does not mean abandoning desire. On the contrary, it is the absolute trust that the command has been given and the universe is already moving to fulfill it. It is like sending an important letter. Once sealed and dropped into the mailbox, you do not sit in fear, wondering if it will arrive. You trust the postal system to carry it. Likewise, when you affirm with faith, allow the subconscious and the universe to act while you simply live in the certainty that the result will come. True release is not an action, but a state of being. It is resting in the unwavering trust that you have entrusted your desire to a power greater than yourself. In that trust, your mind becomes quiet ground, and in that stillness, the command is nurtured. This is the power of the voice within, not merely a voice you hear, but the inner sanctuary to which you return. In this sacred space, there is no struggle, no forcing, only faith. And the flow of life carrying you to the outcome. The clearest proof of the power of release is written in nature. Look at the river. It does not strain to flow. It simply follows the slope of the land to the sea. Look at the flower. It does not force its petals open. It simply yields to the rhythm of light and time. When you learn to release, you align with the law of the universe, and creation unfolds with ease, without burden. Some may ask, how do I know if I have truly released resistance? The answer lies in your feelings. If there is worry, doubt, or anxious anticipation, resistance remains. But when you feel peace, when you can smile and live as though your desire is already fulfilled, that is the sign of release. And it is precisely in that state that the unshakable command can take root and blossom. There was once a woman who prayed for years for a happy home. Yet after each prayer, she sank into fear that she would always be alone. Only when she learned to release resistance, living as though love was already present, did her true partner appear. At that moment, her subconscious no longer received two opposing commands, but one single clear signal. Releasing resistance is the art of surrendering to a higher order, not surrender in weakness, but in strength. It is the recognition that you need not control every detail, for there is a universal intelligence that governs with greater precision than your limited mind. When you release, you open the channel for that intelligence to move through you, accomplishing what personal effort alone never could. Practice living each day with gentle release. When a desire arises, affirm it in faith. Then let it go like a bird soaring into the sky. Do not hold it back. Do not clutch. Do not doubt. Live as though it is already yours. Feel the completeness in the present moment. This is the most fertile soil in which the seed of command can sprout. The art of releasing resistance is the final secret that allows every law you have learned to function perfectly. It transforms effort into flow, anxiety into peace, delay into fulfillment. When you release, you do not lose power. You shift it from the limited mind into the infinite stream of the universe. And in that release, you discover this truth: you were never lacking. You only needed to allow it to appear. The invisible bridge and the rhythm of creation. There is a bridge that always exists between where you now stand and where you long to be. Yet the physical eyes cannot see it. This bridge is not built of wood, stone, or steel. It is woven of ideas, belief, and emotion. Each time you affirm something with certainty, an invisible bridge begins to take form. It links the present with the future, the unseen with the soon-to-be-realized. But to cross this bridge, you must walk in the rhythm of creation, not in anxiety, nor in haste. The rhythm of creation is the law by which everything in the universe abides. The earth revolves around the sun in perfect rhythm. The moon waxes and wanes in its steady cycle. The seasons unfold in their immutable order. When you harmonize with this rhythm, your desires too will ripen in their appointed time. The tree does not hurry to bear fruit. It yields to the rhythm of earth and sky. So it is with man. When he learns to move with the rhythm of creation, every command issued from his consciousness is fulfilled in the right way and at the right time. Without struggle, the invisible bridge appears step by step. At first it is but a thought. Then it is repeated as affirmation, reinforced by emotion, and finally embodied in action. Each step you take is a plank laid upon the bridge. And the wonder is this: you do not need to see the whole bridge at once. You need only see enough to take the next step. As you place your foot down, the next part appears. This is the secret of creative progress. You never see the entire road, but it reveals itself one step of faith at a time. Those who live in anxiety often try to leap across the entire bridge in one bound. They demand immediate results, and in their haste they disturb the natural rhythm. When you force, you break the rhythm, and the bridge wavers. But when you trust and walk with assurance, you move in harmony with the rhythm of creation, and the bridge strengthens beneath your feet. There was once an artist who lived many years in poverty, yet he held in his mind the image of himself upon a great stage, his work honored and celebrated. He did not know when or how it would come, but he continued to paint, continued to create with faith. Each work was a step upon the invisible bridge, and one day the opportunity came, and he became a name known throughout the world. The rhythm of creation carried him from seeming helplessness to triumph because he did not cease to walk. The rhythm of creation cannot be commanded, but it can be joined. It is like music. You cannot force the melody to hasten, but you can dance in time with it. When you live in faith, you hear the music of the universe, and your steps fall in harmony with its flow. Then the invisible bridge ceases to be a mystery and becomes an evident certainty. The essential thing is to keep your steps steady. A single step of doubt can make the bridge tremble, but a single step of faith makes it firmer still. Do not let impatience turn you back, for the bridge appears only to the steadfast. Each day, as you affirm and imagine in peace, you lay another stone upon the bridge, and as you keep walking, you will one day find that you have crossed, and what you desired stands before you. The invisible bridge and the rhythm of creation are not mere abstractions. They are the lived experience of every soul who has triumphed over adversity to reach success. All of them believed in what was not yet visible, continued their journey when others doubted, and at last touched the farther shore. They proved that faith and persistence are the very materials of the bridge, while the release of resistance is the rhythm that makes it strong. When you grasp this truth, you cease to be caught between present and future. You know that the span between the two is not a void, but an invisible bridge waiting for you to cross. You no longer drive time with urgency, but let the rhythm of creation guide you. You no longer doubt, but step with constancy, day after day, and in that certainty, you discover a great truth. The bridge was never outside of you. It has always been woven from within. And when you walk in faith, that bridge not only carries you to your dream, but also leads you back to the very source of creation itself, the divine blueprint, affirming sovereignty, the journey of expansion. Deep within the subconscious there exists a divine blueprint made uniquely for you. It is not a random plan, nor a fleeting desire, but the perfect pattern of the person you are capable of becoming. This blueprint carries within it wholeness, health, love, prosperity, and peace. It is not confined by circumstances or heredity, but waits for you to affirm your sovereignty so that it may be revealed. Whenever you live in opposition to this blueprint, you feel lost and disoriented. But when you align with it, life becomes clear and filled with power. To affirm sovereignty is the first step in reconnecting with the divine blueprint. Sovereignty is not controlled by the small self, but recognition that you are a co-creator with the universe. You no longer live as one swept along by circumstances. You become the decider. Every word you speak, every thought you plant in the subconscious is a seal of sovereignty. When you affirm with faith that you are worthy of health, love, and wealth, you are not merely voicing a wish, you are signing a decree for your life. And the subconscious, like a faithful soldier, obeys that command. Remember, every affirmation must arise from certainty, not from lack. If you affirm wealth while trembling in fear of poverty, the signal sent is still lack. But when you affirm from the state of already having, from the feeling of completeness, then it becomes an undeniable command. In the very moment you dare to declare with strength that you are the master of your life, the divine blueprint immediately responds. The journey of expansion begins when you realize the blueprint is never fixed. It is like a river, ever opening new branches as you are ready. Each time you affirm sovereignty, you extend your own boundaries. From one who only tends to the self, you expand into one who radiates love to family. From caring for family, you extend to serve the community, and from the community, you expand to become a light for humanity. This journey of expansion has no end, for the divine blueprint is infinite, and you are the extension of that infinity. Some ask, how do I know if I am living true to the divine blueprint? The answer is simple. Listen to your feelings, If you feel peace, if you feel joy with each step, it is the sign that you are in harmony. But if you feel strain and weariness, it is only a reminder that you have stepped away and must return. There is no punishment from the universe, only reflection. And that reflection remains honest until you realign. When you walk with the divine blueprint, everything in life begins to rearrange itself. Doors once shut will open. The people you need to meet will appear, and opportunities that seemed random will arrive at the perfect time. This is not a miracle from outside, but the inevitable outcome of living true to your highest self. You do not need to force or struggle. You need only to walk in trust and affirmation. Picture a house built upon a firm foundation. Though storms may come, the house stands strong. The divine blueprint is that foundation. If you build your life on doubt and fear, the house will sway. But if you build upon the blueprint, no pebble can destroy it. And each day you affirm sovereignty. You fortify that foundation, turning it into an unshakable fortress. The journey of expansion is also the journey of giving. When you live in alignment with the blueprint, you do not keep the light to yourself, you let it shine outward. Every word and every deed becomes inspiration to others. And wondrously, the more you give, the more you receive. This is the unchanging law of the universe. The flow gains power only when it is shared. In the end, you will see that the divine blueprint is not a destination, but an endless co-creation. You do not need to run searching outside. You need only to remember that you have carried the perfect design within you since birth. When you affirm sovereignty, you empower that blueprint to operate, and when you walk the journey of expansion, you not only transform your life, you help transform the world. Now the message is clear. Become the conscious architect of your life. Affirm with certainty, walk in faith, and let the journey of expansion lead you into new dimensions of being. For you are not merely the carrier of the blueprint, you are the blueprint, and from this moment on, no limit can bind you. You have walked the entire journey from recognizing the cosmic green light to discovering the divine blueprint, from the first signals and the veils of perception to the rhythm of creation and the art of releasing resistance. All of it leads to one single truth. You are the master of your own life. You need not search for light outside yourself, for you are that very light. Affirm your sovereignty, walk in faith, and let the journey of expansion carry you into the fullness of life. This is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter where you become the conscious creator of your own existence.